Do I have Major do his 5 minutes before I bring all of you in, or the way you were all itching to say something before? Okay, so what are the security implications? Yeah, okay. He's doing 5 minutes.
There's no 5 minutes.
There is.
We are going to go beyond 12.
Yeah, we are ending at 12:30. Yes, please go on.
Thank you. The problem we have with the national security implication is that, number one, geologically, Ghana's mineral deposit also coincide with agricultural mining land space. So it means that any mining activity also necessarily impacts or conflicts agricultural space.
Like I said earlier, where mining goes on, that's where we get our food.
Yes. So that's number one. Number two is that there's a high infiltration of non-nationals into our space in arms. Again, as I indicated earlier, high procurement of weapons. And under transnational national crime environment, there needs to be planning, leadership, hierarchy of influence, and division of labor and all. And given our experience in the field, we can talk about 15 or 16 parameters, which makes this issue very, very serious. Number one is that there's a minimal high use of machinery, and that's we've established that. Shamfines,
excavators.
Now, most of them are not even manufactured in Ghana. So how are they coming in? We need to look at that. Number two is that they are not adhering to any statutory regulatory authority. And they are also alien to the payment of taxes. They don't want to hear. There's a high connivance or blessing of responsible officials, including people in the political space. And we've gathered that even some pastors in Ghana now are into illegal mining.
Yes.
And they don't have the interest to register. The other one is the negative implication on their health, their safety, and the even social environment. Prostitution, gambling, alcoholism, drug intake is now coming up. And again, they are also not paying anything to government, and they are also coming up with what we discovered to be the capacity to control their space, including administrative violence, including threat of death.
Yes.
Which is very, very important for us to understand. So the typical artisanal small-scale mine that we used to know had transitioned into a political space. Now the other danger is that all these people that we are talking about, how do they sell their proceeds? Now let's come back to how they lease equipment. Some of the equipment are leased to most of the people working, and they are most owned by people who are not Ghanaians. Interestingly, we found some degree of barter trade in the field, where instead of you paying them the money, they will come for great equivalent of what you have processed as payment for whatever arrangement they had done with you prior. The other one we need to understand also is this. As the soldiers and the military personnel and the resources have been employed, there's a high incidence of people, as indicated earlier, having what we call human rights abuses, and also possible leakages. Interestingly, Honorable, some of the people illegal money now are now attempting to enter into the political space.
They have entered. They have entered
very much.
They've been funding.
They've been funding political parties. And some of them are minors.
Yes.
So the danger is that as soon as you get these people enter into the political space, then the country is almost finished. So if you send regulations that is supposed or intended to stop their activity, then there's a likelihood that either is delayed, or will not be considered, or it will be frustrated. So these things come together for us to understand that the people are the ones that we are supposed to take care of. Everything we do is supposed to kneel to their benefit, their welfare, and their development. So any little thing that we do in this space now that compromises our health, our development, and our sustenance must be clustered as such. And first, as a national security, we must note that. Then the second point is that based on all the parameters you have seen, it is no more an internal national security, it's a transnational organized criminal enterprise, which Ghana has accepted.
Professor Agyemang of the University of Ghana and his students said this in 2023 on this show, repeated it in 2024, and okay.
Yes.
Please.
So interestingly, it is there that the parameters and the crisis are there. Now, when you bring in the transnational organized criminal enterprise parameter, you don't need any law again, because the Financial Action Task Force regulations are there for you to imply in prosecuting the case. In that case, the punishment will be more punitive than what is prevailing of a maximum of 25 years. It goes beyond you tracing the equipment or their resources assets procured out of that criminality. The state can confiscate. The state can also rope in and bring international teams to support them to do external investigations.
Do I hear you say, if arrests are made, you shouldn't treat them as, punishing or prosecuting Galamsey?
No. But prosecuting transnational organized crime.
Okay.
In that case, the state has a wider latitude to apply both local and international regulations supported by other international entities, even to follow the money or the procurement or deposits done outside this country. So that makes it relatively easier for us to prosecute, and the punishment will be more punitive and also may.
But so far we have been catching the small fishes. Yeah. The president called them boys.
Yes.
Around it.
That's the reason why the law must change. The interesting thing is that when you catch the small fishes, there are managers or their principals who pass through the back door. If you're supposed to be given what they call a bail within the 48-hour caveat, they will pay the bill and they'll go back to the field. So that's how there's a high recidivism in the illegal mining environment. So if you apply the transnational organized criminal activity, then you can follow. Then resources can be applied. Then the state can have the latitude to deal with it as we stand today.
You touched on something that the Attorney General was concerned about yesterday, that they arrest them, they take them to the court, they are quickly granted bail, they go back to repeat what they are doing whilst they are on bail. So he instructed that re-arrest them as a new offense. And then let's find a way to get our judges not to be quick to grant them bail.
The issue is this. In some parts of this country, especially in the new region, some of them even have Attorney General's office. Secondly, except for the last review, it was only High Court that could try illegal mining cases. But now, divisional courts can do so. The other problem with illegal mining cases is that you must prove it. Proving illegal mining is very, very difficult because, one, the product the person is holding must be sent for assay. Who pays for the assay? Again, chain of custody, sometimes it is distorted. And all these things become difficult for the typical Ghanaian prosecutor to be able to do that successfully. That's why sometimes we see more of the granting of the bail.
So from what you have seen from your study, which I have read, are we at a place of a state of emergency?
Yes, I think that we should look at the issue. Number one, we are all agreed that our water bodies have almost 60% polluted. Again, some, I would say, control zones in forest has been. So for me, the state of emergency must be incremental. Beginning with the areas we deem fit right for now. Must all water bodies, emergency must be declared. Then all areas that are protected, especially forest areas, emergency must be declared. Because as soon as you state blanket state of emergency without a footprint, there's a high occurrence that the people may go back. So given our resources, given the personnel strength and the facilities available to us, water bodies and protected zones must be declared.
Thank you.
And we can push from there.
Kofi, why